Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and today we'll be reading Former Fat People of Reddit. What were some unintended side effects of your weight loss? I can't rest my arms on my stomach when I cross them anymore. On the upside, better self-esteem. If I don't drink enough water on a given day, I feel like death. Have no idea how I survived all those years barely drinking a glass or two a day. The same thing happened to me. It turns out that fat cells hold a lot of water in reserve. Also, high sodium intake increases water retention, so if you're eating nothing but fast food and TV dinners, you might not feel like drinking as often. I used to drink so little, I had leg cramps in my sleep due to dehydration, and I still almost never felt thirsty. Now I have to drink at least a half gallon throughout the day or else I'll feel like a raisin by the end of it. Really nice calves. You walk around carrying all that weight all the time. You don't even get calves. You straight up get cows, man. Wow. I get cold easier now, and I can no longer sit indefinitely on hard surfaces. Totally experienced both of those. I never imagined my own butt could hurt so much to sit on. I also have a cave in my armpits that's a real bee to shave, and friggin' veins everywhere, right there. I used to pride myself on my constant warmth and ability to be comfortable anywhere. It's gone now. Good trait though, still. I lost 80 pounds in 6 months and went from having fertility issues, PCOS, to developing hyperfertility. Apparently, my body started releasing too many eggs a month, which would result in recurrent miscarriages. I never expected losing weight would cause an issue like that. I lost about 100 pounds from a peak weight of about 325 pounds. The biggest thing is the skin. It stays loose. I'm much better off in that area than some people I have known, but it can still be frustrating at times. I don't know if you would call this a side effect, but there was also a point where I realized there were people who hung out with me, at least in part, because it made them feel better about themselves. They tend to be the people that try to discourage you on your journey. It was weird and made me reevaluate relationships. I lost some friends along the way. Everybody around you and their brother suddenly turns into a nutritionist and fitness expert. I get cold easily, I don't snore anymore, and my daily headaches are gone. Yeah, that was fun too. I'm planning to lose another 10 pounds. Oh no, that's too much weight. Oh wow. I guess I was so busy listening to my doctor, nutritionist, and briefly personal trainer, I forgot to listen to the unsolicited nutritional advice of someone who, while dispensing said advice, is eating Nutella out of a jar with a spoon. I'm a better father. I physically play with my kids instead of watching them after I drop 40 pounds. This is me as well. When my first child started rolling around, I knew I was going to have a hard time keeping up once it became more mobile if I didn't get into shape. 55 pounds lost, a half marathon, and a few century rides later, my son has a hard time keeping up with me. Rest in peace, my chest. My chest pour themselves out of any top or bra that isn't structured. Braless, they look like 2 fried eggs nailed to a tree trunk. Running made my feet ugly, but it has worked magic for how my butt looks. It now takes very little alcohol to get drunk. Dropped from nearly 199 pounds to 145 pounds a few years ago. It took me a while to realize that my alcohol tolerance wasn't what it used to be and to take it easy. Also, if you look significantly different in your biometric passport photo compared to how you look today, you tend to get stopped at airport security. Though I usually get a congrats from the border guards when I explain that I lost a quarter of my body weight since the photo was taken. I had to buy new clothes, meaning, except for socks, I had to replace my entire wardrobe because my fat clothes were falling off of me. It wasn't cheap. The mental fat person never goes away. I always think I'm bigger than I am. No amount of people saying how great I look seems to change what my brain thinks. Went from very obese to just overweight. The two big ones are that I get cold in winter and I walk so much faster than everyone else, particularly up escalators where I use every second step and power past. The former is loss of insulation, the latter is having leg muscles that were used to carrying 308 pounds plus a backpack for some years. They got strong. I'm still heavy now, but 66 pounds lighter than I was. Failure to float. The first time I tried to swim after losing about 30 to 40 pounds, I was surprised to discover I didn't float anymore. I just sank into the pool like a rock. It was terrifying. More heads turned in your direction. As someone who's been ignored for most of their life, you never really get used to it. Yeah, I realized I crossed some kind of threshold in my weight loss when women started smiling back instead of ignoring me. Smaller shoe size. Used to be 13W, 14, now I wear 12, 13. This happened to me too. I went shoe shopping and got the exact same shoes I was wearing because they're awesome, and was shocked that the size 8s that I wore at the time were huge on me. I had to go down to a 7.5 for the exact same shoes. I never knew that you could have fat feet. I get fuller faster. Makes sense. You lose weight, your stomach shrinks, holds less food, and therefore it takes less to make you full. A weird side effect of that is that stopping weight loss is sort of an issue for me now. I hit my goal weight and suddenly I have to eat more in order to maintain weight. I'm not eating as much as I once did certainly, but actually upping my calorie intake after months of conditioning myself to eat less is hard. The result of which is, I weighed myself the other day and found I was 6.6 pounds down from what I'd intended. Not the worst thing in the world, and basically a free pass to eat more, but it's weird that post-weight loss, that would be the hardest thing to balance. Energy levels. I was tired all the time at 215 pounds, and doing anything worthwhile required more effort and willpower than it should have. There never seemed to be enough time in the day for sleep, and no matter how long I did rest, waking up was a chore. Now, at 155 pounds, I wake up on my own with an alarm ready to attack the day. No coffee required. I sleep better, and it makes such a positive difference in my mood. Everyone's nicer to me, especially, and most ridiculously, doctors. Seeking medical care while overweight was a nightmare. I had to fight with every doctor to prove that any ailment I had wouldn't just be magically solved by losing weight. Sorry, dropping 100 pounds did nothing for my eczema. Seeking medical care at a normal weight, my concerns are instantly taken seriously and addressed in an appropriate manner. I went from 280 pounds to 180 pounds in a summer. One sad thing about losing weight is I noticed how much better I got treated. People would open doors, come up and talk to me, made me feel important. While this was nice for me, it also made me realize how horrible we treat fat people at times, and I know that I've been guilty of it. How starting and focusing on one positive change, like the desire to lose weight and get healthy, started a trickle-down effect for me that has led to other positive changes in my life. I've net lost 35 pounds in the last 8 months. Lost 40, but gained back 5 due to some relaxing my diet that I'm starting to write. And on top of that, I quit my toxic old job for a much more stable, healthier one that has allowed me to further work on my weight loss by giving me a consistent schedule. I've started noticing more women and people in general giving me attention. I can finally wear tank tops without wanting to really not enjoy it because I look like I'd have a bigger chest than women. I don't feel out of breath anymore from cardio. I sweat less while not doing anything due to less fat. Seriously, if anybody's thinking about taking that one leap of faith and starting to lose weight, just realize that this one good action, if you stick with it, will lead to many, many more good things. All of these good things have happened to me in the last 8 months, and I'm not even done losing weight yet. You can do it too. I started caring about my clothes. When I was fat, clothes were there to hide something I was embarrassed about. Once I had something I was proud of, I started wearing bright colors, getting flashy shoes to complement specific color combos, wearing shorts, well-fitted collared shirts, slim jeans, etc. Just caring about my appearance in general, really. As a fatty, I just shaved my head, wore the same black shoes and boots every day, wore baggy jeans, black t-shirts, etc. It's the complete opposite now. I really take a lot of pride in my appearance and get excited to get all dressed up for date night with the GF. Sometimes she will get mad that I'm overdressed for a lunch date or a quick errand run and make me go change because she didn't get all dolled up. I was told that it wasn't a struggle for me because I lost weight in my 20s. Yes, I do understand that as you age, for a lot of people, it becomes harder to lose weight, but frig you people. I got up at 5:30 a.m. to work out, went back again in the afternoon, walked everywhere I could, and cut calories to the point that even having a 30-calorie Freezy Pop was a treat. And now that I'm over 30, I've kept most of the weight off, but still get annoyed by others for how easy it is for me to lose weight. Newsflash, I go to bar 3 5 times per week, am permanently sore, and literally only one person has ever taken me up on the offer to come to class with me, for free. I have tons of free class passes and no one wants them. I also eat my favorite foods at lunch instead of dinner, because then I have more time to burn it off or pick a better and healthier option for dinner. But all I hear is how it must be so nice to be able to have pasta or a gyro when everyone else is having salads. They also try to give me a massive slice of cake, even if I've asked for a small piece. My sugar appetite has significantly decreased over the years, and 4 bites of cake is enough for me. But coworkers won't listen. No one's mean about it, but they'll give me a big piece and tell me to enjoy myself for once, which is completely contradictory to what they also say when I eat lunch. Tattoo touch-ups. Everything else seems to have been posted, but this one hits home for me. I have an award-winning rib piece. It goes from just below the armpit to past my waist, and it's also wide as well. The downside of going from 255, I assume, to 220, and then down to 183 in 3 years was marks of the skin. My rib piece now have some marks that almost ruin a couple spots on the piece. Devastating that I went through all that pain and money and it's not the same. I'm being a little critical on myself. Life pro tip, whenever you get a tattoo, ask the artist for the lot and item number and brand for each color used. This will make a world of difference when it comes to touch-ups or add-ons. In my experience, many of my tattoos were done while I lived abroad, but I still have a notepad for each piece and what info for each color. A talented artist can get very close to the color, blending and such with that information. And that brings us to the end of the discussion, narwhals. If you have anything to add to this discussion, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you very much if you watched all the way into the end of the video. I appreciate it. This has been your host, Luke Narwhal, and until next time, have a good one, narwhals.